Good morning, happy Sunday, welcome to episode 76 featuring You're a Peach DSP, which I've done before, yes, but this time I'm using the patterns that have balmy blue in it rather than the peachy colours, because I hadn't used those and I thought, well, some of them are very pretty, so I'm gonna feature them. So that's what we're doing today. What do I need to remind you of? The new July to December mini catalogue is now available, along with the new celebration, which is a brochure which runs until the end of September. So it's a really exciting time. For every $50 you place in an order, you get a free item out of the celebration book. And if you aren't a demo and you join, you get extra. You get an extra bundle out of a list of about a dozen. It's a really good deal. But anyway, the other thing I wanted to tell you about was my mail and make, which this month is using, I don't think it matters that most of it's backwards. It's using the Path to Greatness set. And if you want to join in, the basic class is $38. If you want to add this on, you can add it on for $21, which is exactly how much it costs. So I'm mopping up the tax and the shipping to here. So and you get to make 6 cards, 2 each of 3. So that's my plug for my monthly mail and make, named because I mail it, you make it. You get a tutorial, and they're exclusive designs that won't appear anywhere else unless someone who has made them puts them somewhere, but I won't be showing them. So, let me turn you down, and I'll do the raffle, and then I'm going to get going because we have quite a lot to do. Good morning, all. I'm so happy you're all here. Let me just wrestle. Oh, sorry, I'm blinding you, aren't I? There you go. That's better. You can actually not be blinded for now. Right. So it's about right. So I've got quite a lot to do today. So anyway, first, sadly, we're down to the 6-sided die. We don't need the bigger one because I've only got 5 shares. So Barbara, we need Diana, Kathy, and Kim. In that order, let's see what we get. 3, Diana. Excellent. There we go. Mark that off. Get my die over there so I don't lose it. And let me show you what we're going to make today. Well, what I'm going to make. So this is what I'm going to make. As you can see, it's a box. And it's using one of the Balmy blue papers out of, which I don't need to bring out the envelope. So as you can see, it fits pretty nicely. I think I could have added a couple extra or been a bit more generous with ribbon, which I didn't put on for fear it would make them too deep. So I've got 5 cards that fit in here quite nicely. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to make all of them and the box, which is why I'm like, yep, I better get moving. So here's the first one. Here's the next one. And the third one. Oh, these are note cards, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, which is kind of why I wanted to make this box, because it's smaller and it's a different size. So here's another one. And this one is the only one that doesn't have Balmy blue for the sentiment. But there wasn't really enough Balmy blue on it to make that the feature. So that's why I did that. So I also got a bit because DSP doesn't have stamp sets, so I used the happiest of birthdays for this one. I've used Happy Birthday, these are the moments we'll look back on with joy from Peaceful Moments. I've got this lovely vertical happy birthday, and I got happy birthday to you from Best Year. So basically I just grabbed a whole bunch of sentiment sets, or sets that have a lot of sentiments, and went to town. So let's pull this out and get on with the first one. So first thing we need to do is get out our Balmy blue pad, which as you can see is a bit stiff because I don't think I use this colour very much, so it's good to have it as the primary colour, really. In fact, mostly the only colour. So it's getting its turn. I do feel that sometimes you get hooked on colours and you don't bother to look at, it doesn't matter if it's upside down because it's not on a card, but I just feel better having it the right way up. Right, let me just stamp that down like so. It's a bit blotchy. What can I do about it being blotchy? Let's see. I guess I'll let it dry first. No, let's pull past it. So I might just fill it in a bit, just to make it look a little less blotchy. This of course happened because I was trying to be efficient and not take all morning, because you probably don't all have all morning. Anyway, there we go. Now, aren't these note cards cute? They look so little when you compare them to a real card, but in fact they're actually only half an inch shorter here, so it's not that much, but it does make a nice cute little card. So oops, it's going to be one of those days, is it? Ah, I've already got ink on my hand. Did you see that, Winnie? Yes, I thought you probably would have. So that's that. Now we just put this on. This is from the Stitch So Sweetly. I cut it out, that die, with that. So I'm going to put that, I'd say about there. Then it needs some of these. Oh, hang on, I can see some, yeah, stuff from the die cut. Should clean that out. Yeah, that's better. Looks sloppy otherwise. I think that I use the right size. So it's the big ones. And I'm going to put them, I'll try not to drop them, right here. I think I need a bit more of this. Twist it a little, there we go. And push, and it pushes, it keeps its adhesive because you pushed it, you didn't pick it up, and And the bonus is, the extra bonus, apart from the fact that you haven't hurt it, is you've picked it up. So I think I got that from Celine, but it works really well. So there we are, there's the first one. Let's get on with the second one, which, in case you have forgotten, is this one. So this is, I've got a spare one. Should have had a spare one of the last one, but there we are. I was doing some of my prep work yesterday after I'd been running, and it was a brutal run, and it was hard, it was hot, it was humid. I don't think my brain was quite firing on all cylinders by the time I came back. Actually, it's the same today. I went out again thinking, you know, oh, I can do this humidity. And I waited until 9, so the humidity would drop down to, 87. I don't, when it's over 90, it's really, really bad. So I probably haven't got my brain with me yet. It's probably still dehydrated, even though I've been drinking water like it's going out of fashion. But I feel I didn't enjoy the run at all. It was it was mental, you know, just keep going, just push, you know, kind of thing. But I feel so much better now I've done it. Well, and done it and had my shower. It just feels good. And it only takes 40 minutes or so to feel this way. It's pretty good, really. Hang on. Are you not right? Oh, no, you're good. It's just me being cack-handed. There we are. Then I think I just put this on. No, I didn't. I popped it up, didn't I? Yes, I did. So let's find our dimensionals. Put a few of these here so it won't sag in the middle. And maybe one in the middle too. Yeah, that's a bit excessive, I know. But they keep it straight so it doesn't, if it gets squished in the post, it doesn't really matter, because it will, all these little things, which I haven't taken all the pieces off, because you don't need 6 to hold on a small thing like this. But if it gets squished in the post, that will keep it straight, and it won't go down. So that's really why I put on so many, just to prevent sag. Now, what did I use? See, I've been having a lot. What was that? Oh no, I haven't used those ones. I've been having a lot of fun using different embellishments, different sentiments. So it's a lot of fun. It's just, I was just enjoying myself and making a whole bunch of things, which is quite satisfying, as you know. So there's number 2. Put those over there, and we'll move on to this one. Very simple. Well, all my cards are simple, you know that. I don't like serious amounts of layering. Well, I mean, I do layer a bit, but I don't like 400 layers and ribbon and loads extra ribbon, twice ribbon, multiple DSPs all on one card, and I'm like, no, I just find it too much for me. So mine is simple. Nothing wrong with being simple. I think that's a bit high. Let me try that again, because I can. Might go back to it, you never know. I think it should be about there. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, reject. Right. So now we're going to put our little strip. I think it's, because it's a note card, I cut this down. I usually do, if I'm doing this kind of layout, I usually do 2 inches wide, but that would look a little weird with this and would really push the sentiment off. So this is a 1 5/8 wide, and I think it suits the proportions better of this one. So let me what dies did I use for the circles? I used the layering circles dies, and there's a, let me show you, if you haven't got them, they're quite useful. They're like this. I would put it down, but it will stick. And there's another half of them, so you've got all these different sizes, and I cut out the scalloped one that was just slightly bigger, so you got this nice little matting, I suppose it is. So let's put this on. Did I give you everything about the others? Yes, I think I did. Right, so this is going to go, I would say, about there. And I didn't check, but luckily I got it the right way up, because that would have been bad. So this one is from a Stitch So Sweetly as well. So I'm going to pop that up. Ever since the Stitch Shapes retired, I've been using Stitch So Sweetly a lot more, and I think it deserves it, actually. It's a nice set, this one. Actually, I could show it to you. Let me pull it out. So here it is. I used the biggest one for the earlier card, and you've got all these different sizes, and you've got this lovely wavy line and the stitching. Then you've got these two and these two. It's very versatile. Anyway, let me move on. I think, which ones are these? These are the medium ones. So let's add some of these. Now I read somewhere, I think it was Brian King, if you want an easy way to get them in line, you do the 2 edges first, because they always have to be in line if there are only 2 of them, and then you just slot this one right in the middle, and it does seem to be easier than trying to go along in a line. So, little tip for you. Looks good. So the next one, and I know I was saying earlier on the previous one that I thought a large piece of DSP would not work so well, but this is a bit different because I've got this wonderful vertical happy birthday from Celebrate with Flowers, so it's just perfect for this card, in my opinion. I mean, of course, this is all my opinion, so you know that. Nobody else's opinion or mine. So I'm going to mat this onto, or with rather, the Balmy blue. So and this is going to go at the end with my ruler to help me line things up properly, even though my finger is trying to pull the paper away by getting stuck to it, but I think we overcame that. Now I'm going to put that about there. So let me put down a little weight. Well, actually it's an A block, but it works well as a weight. And I'm going to ink up my happy birthday. And I'm going to, there we are, excellent. And now I can, now that I know that this was stamped okay, I can add this piece. But if I added this piece first, I would somehow have managed to smudge the sentiment stamping, and then it would be, okay, how am I going to cover it up kind of thing. So I like to be a little cautious, because we all have times when things don't go right. And mine seem to be especially common when I'm on camera. So, yeah, just is what it is. So I'm going to put that, I think about half, have about the same amount of white showing between here and here and here and here, which I think means it goes about there. Yes, and it's better than this one because this one was slightly wonky. So this one is a definite improvement. And now we get to our final card. As I said, there were five of these patterns that had the Balmy blue in that I wanted to use because I hadn't touched them, which felt bad. I really love this paper. I mean, the whole DSP. It's just beautiful. Oh, maybe I should have done some green ones. I don't think there's enough green patterns for me to do basically a class on it, but it's going to mat it with Calypso Coral. And the same goes. I'm going to put away my Balmy blue and get out my Calypso Coral. So now I've got another blue thing. Where did that come from? Oh well. Didn't wash my hair today. I just rinsed it so I can wash it tomorrow, and that will fix that. Now, happy birthday to you. Here we are. Let's just think there. Perfect. Okay, that's all I need this for. So let's take the risk and close it. Sometimes when you close it, it doesn't close quite right. You see how it isn't? You just push it in and then it will close nicely. Just a quick tip. Full of tips today, aren't I? Right, let's apply this to our note card. Which way up do I want it? I think this way. And so here it is. Oh, no it isn't. I want some of these. Decided it needed a little bit of glitzing up, so I decided to use these little elegant faceted gems, which I think were my favourite, but now it's got a lot of competition. they are beautiful. So there and there, I think. Thank you. Oh no, I'm talking to my embellishments. That is a little worrying. So here we go. So now what we have to do is make the box. Now, this isn't going on as long as I was fearing, so I think we're good. So I've already done the scoring, but this is a 7.5 inch by 10.5 piece of whisper white, thick whisper white. That's very important. You obviously can do any color you like, but here is the one I made earlier. So now I just need to have the DSP and put it on the right places. There's a little trick to that. So it's 7.5 by 10.5. And you score on the short side. I've written this out in my blog, but I think it's going to be much easier to oh yeah, can you see that better? Maybe if I'd done it in a different color, it would have been good. Anyway, so on the short side, 1 inch from the end and 1 inch from this end, you score. Then you've got 4 score lines to do this way around. This one is at 1/2 inch. This one is at 1.5 inches. And this one is another 4 inches in, so 5.5 inches. Now, if you're lazy and you can't be bothered to open your trimmer, or if it doesn't go further than 6, just turn this around and do it at 4. Otherwise, this would be at 6.5, which most trimmers don't do unless you open them up further. And I had a stack of things on my trimmer table and I couldn't be bothered to move them, so I just turned it around and did the other way, right? So now what we have to do is we have to remove these two, this square and this rectangle at the top next to the 1/2 inch, okay? So let's just get that done. I'll try to be fairly precise. Like, not quite precise enough. There we are. And then the same on this side. This is to make the top of the box where you fold it over. Yeah, I'm very unwilling to go too far. Right, so you can see that this piece is the thing we've just made. So, because it doesn't go over the box, right? So now you've got these 2 little squares. Can you see the squares? There are 2 squares here, and they're going to become our tabs. So you cut down the line like so, and then you cut out a little triangle. It doesn't have to be little, it can be as big as you like, as long as you can still have some left. So you do the same on the other side. So now we have a tab. One thing you can do is fold the score lines first. In some ways it's easier, but in some ways it isn't. So you take your money and you make a choice. So this just makes the box a bit smarter, and you don't have so many layers on top of each other. So I got that done. Now I'm going to fold on my score lines. Remember, the bump goes inside, which is the illogical way, but it's the best. There we go. Let's fold the bottom of the box. And let's do the top. And this is the little lip that goes inside. And then this side as well. And now we apply our DSP. So I decided to do a different pattern today. So I've already cut it. This is going to fit in here. When this is a, what is it? 5.5 by 4. So I've got, oh, I can't remember it in my head. It's 5 1/4 across by 3 3/4 down. So we have that. Then, and you have to do 2 of them because you need 1 for here. Then we've got these strips, which will go in here, which is 5 1/4 by 3 1/4, right? And then you've got the side pieces, just 2 of those as well, 3 3/4 by 3/4, because it's going to have a, this has a, across here it's 3/4 of an inch. That's why 3/4 keeps popping up. But there's one thing I need to tell you. Let's see. Let's show you how it's going to come together. It's pretty simple. You just have it like this. But what that means is the top of the box, this piece, this will be the right way up, okay? But this piece will be upside down. So if you have anything that needs to be the right way around, you put it, in order to have it the right way up, when you've made the box, like so, when you're putting it together, it's upside down because the way you roll it up. So let's just start putting these on. Of course, the easy thing to do is to have some DSP that doesn't have any need to be the right way up, because then you can't mess it up. But so we're the furthest, here's our lid, so the furthest one away from that has to be upside down. That's how I remember it. Or if I can't remember, I just roll it up and look at it, and then it's clear. So this one, and it's always advisable, of course, to put DSP on now. And if you wanted to do it by stamping yourself, you'd be best off to do that before you do the scoring, obviously. So now I'm going to add that piece. Well, it really doesn't matter what you do with this piece. It's the bottom of the box. You could even leave it out. Might not really be needed, but sometimes I just have to be a little anal. So and then this is the top of the box. There we are. So here is what is going to happen. We're going to put glue on these tabs, but if we look on the outside, that's where we put it. And here's why. When this attaches to this, and so it's on the inside, and that works like that. I'm not sure if you're seeing much of this. And then this folds over, and this is the front of the box, and so I don't want to have the edges showing, so I always do it this way. And then that's where I put the last two pieces of the DSP. Technically, they should probably be upside down, but I'm not sure which way up is upside down, so I don't think it matters. So let's just pop these on. And then we're almost done. So I like making boxes. It's very satisfying, particularly when you've made a whole bunch of cards that will go in it. You know, if I ever get back to doing craft fairs, I'll have quite a store or stash to do it, rather than staying up late at night and making the stuff for the craft fair. I'll already have it. So now, as I said, we put the on the outside, so the glue, and you need good glue. Well, it depends how long you want it to last, but you know, I'd use some strong stamp and seal kind of stuff. And now here we put it together. This is going to be the way we hold it together, and this, you need to put this end down along here. So I'm going to pull that in, and the same on the other side, of course. Can you see that? Yes, you can, I think. So that flap goes to there, and then, so now we've got half our box done, right? All we have to do is the last piece, which means these flaps need to be glued up. Now, make sure you put some glue near this edge, otherwise it will, when you've put it together, if there isn't any at this edge, it will flap a bit. So what I like to do here is put two, well, if my glue is working, I like to put 2 rows, one there to hold the, well, I just like to do 2 rows, so it will work better. I have to move the box out of the way, so now you can see what I'm doing. So one row nice and tight to this side of the box, and the other one at the other side, so everything will stay beautiful. So now this needs to come to this score line. So we just, you can do them both at the same time, but just keep an eye on that one to make sure it's not misbehaving. So you match up those sides, and then you've got the same here. If you're not sticking yourself to it. And so then I like to get a bone folder and just run it inside to make sure it's really pressed down. And there is your box. Now the only other thing you might have to do is, when you try and close it, it might be a bit tight. Mine is a bit tight. So what you do is you take a hair, literally, off that side, and try it again. That might be enough. Nope, the other side wants it as well. So you take a tiny bit off. There we are. And then it will close. There we go. Nice close. If you're a little too generous with the little piece you've just taken off there, then it will just flop open. So then you can take all your cards and put them in here along with the envelopes. And I didn't think this through, because previously I used this petal pink, but it's not going to work here. So I think this is Pear Pizzazz, Balmy Blue. Yes, so anyway, I don't think I have anything handy that would work. Or do I? This is quite, nah. Anyway, you can put your bow on it or whatever you want to do, and there we are. So I hope, do I ever use tear and tape? I used to. You can just, that actually works really well as well, and just put the little strips and then pull them up with something. So yes, tear and tape I do sometimes do. So I hope you enjoyed looking at this and thinking about how you could give someone, oh yes, give someone a little gift of 5 note cards. In fact, looking in here, I can see that I could easily make 6 and fit them in, as long as they aren't all having bows on, or possibly even more. But I think it could be a great gift. So let us take a look again at what we have done. So try and, oops. And this one. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you place an order with me for $25, I usually say I'll send you all the bits you need, and I would, and that is actually quite a lot of stuff. I'd send you the card bases. You'd have to have your DSP yourself, obviously. But if you don't have it, you could get it in the $25 order. So I hope you enjoyed this. Oh, Barbara, that is great. Let us know how it goes. And if you make your box, why don't you post a picture of it on this thread, and we can all see how you do. That would be great. In fact, if anyone makes one of these boxes, it would be great to see it on this thread, so everyone can see what everyone's been up to. So there you go. And as you can see, I mean, I've been going for 43 minutes, but if I wasn't talking and if I wasn't telling you things at the beginning, then I think you could easily make the whole thing in 40 minutes, and that's a pretty great thing. So have a great day. Good luck if you try making boxes, and let me know how you do, and have a great rest of the day. Okay, I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.